48 Hours, 1982. This is described as a comedy, but I would say it's more of an action thriller with a little comedy thrown in. I was shocked by the amount of violence. I guess I wasn't expecting it. If I had chosen action thriller, yeah, I'd have, I wouldn't have bought as much, but Um, that is the nature of the film in a way. I looked up another way it's described in the synopsis is a buddy movie, a buddy cop movie. There's plenty of those about, and this was considered one of the first. I don't know if there's any others, but I'll look that up. But in essence, it starts off where there's a prison gang um, working on some piece of land, digging it up, being uh, encouraged by uh, the prison guards to work harder. They're not allowed to slack, of course. That's what chain gangs are like in the USA. And then a First Nation American drives along, appears to have an altercation. He's in trouble. He needs some water, he says. He asks the one of the prison guards, and one of the prisoners chats back aggressively, and they have um, what do you call it, a sort of staged fight, altercation and fight, and this is because, um, well, he's got a gun. He's going to bring the prisoner out. This is right at the start. The prisoner who is escaped, might be more than one prisoner, but certainly one. Yeah, I think it's just one. Is Albert Gans, played by James Remar. And the next thing is we see Gans in San Francisco, and he is booking into a hotel, and yeah, he's on the phone with an accomplice. So he wants to have a sex worker have carnal relationships with a sex worker. So and he books someone for his one of his friends as well. So then the cops get onto the case, and they've come to the hotel. They try and they plan to arrest this guy. I think they go to the wrong room or something. But while they're waiting outside, um, Gans gets the idea, g- gets wind of what's happening, comes out and shoots them from another room. That's what I think it's not room 27, it's another room. So that's more or less the setup. And then we meet the main protagonist, or two main protagonists. Firstly, um, Nick Nolte's Jack Cates, Inspector Jack Cates. He's brought in on the case because two cops have been killed. Um, I think actually he was downstairs. I can't remember exactly, but he might have been talking, sort of standing guard next to the receptionist when they hear the shots and realise this is really serious. When he gets back to the police station, he gets hauled over the coals by his boss. So he thinks, right, needs another tactic, and this is where he gets this idea to spring from jail. Um, Eddie Murphy's character, Reggie Hammond, and that's where the film starts in earnest because it's those two, they don't get on, but because Inspector Cates has pulled strings. He hasn't used his actual name when he's in jail, when he's like signing out um, Reggie, but he does it because he seems to think he will be a good accomplice to help him. There's probably some association between Reggie and um, Albert Guns. And that get comes out a bit later on. I think it does get mentioned in the trailer, but I won't mention it here. But one thing is clear is that wouldn't see themselves as buddies or partners, I don't think, because that's exactly what Kate says at the start. We ain't partners, we ain't brothers, we aren't friends. And that comes up as a quote. Um, again, a bit later. Um, it's um, it's going to be he's going to sign him out, this prisoner, um, Reggie Hammond, for 2 days. Hence the title of the film, 48 Hours. He needs to bring him back Sunday evening. It's Saturday early hours, I guess, and Reggie's got a really snazzy suit that he puts on as soon as he gets out of prison, so it was obviously being held for him, and he looks the part whilst um, Kate's, mm, I guess he looks fairly average. So there's a lot of chat back that goes on. I mean, Reggie won't take being put down. Um, You just get roughed up quite a lot, gets smacked in the face a few times. I mean, Cates is not exactly the friendliest of cops. Um, but one thing that Reggie's good at is using car doors as weapons, and you see that in the trailer. Um, and because Gans is a pretty hardened criminal, I mean, there's a really good reason why um, Kate's wanted Reggie Hammond on the case simply because this is like it's going to be it puts people at risk. There's a lot of pretty brutal stuff that goes on. People, quite a few people get shot dead. Um, but a lot of the narrative is also about the male gaze. It's set in that way. I mean, this was 1982. It's kind of what I seem to expect from the 70s and 80s. Reggie Hammond does a lot of chatting up, or he tries to, and it's not as nice if it goes wrong. And um, like Annette O'Toole plays one of it plays Elaine, one of the characters in this film. There are a few women, but they're often not named or is not particularly known. Their names, not like Hammond and Kate's. You don't get to hear their name that much, but that's largely what the women are um, in this film for Reggie Hammond's delectation. For I mean, if that's how it is. I mean, he hasn't got any money. He says he has to borrow money off Kate if he wants to chat up a sex worker, chat up in inverted commas as such. Oh gosh, there's stuff about it that feels really icky from a woman's point of view. It's largely a buddy cop film. It's largely for uh, it's a lads' movie. It's for men's enjoyment, and that's how women are often viewed, certainly from their cis straight point of view. So it is quite funny. It is funny at times, but the humour took a long time to come because, like the first part, until Eddie Murphy appeared on screen, I was thinking this isn't a comedy at all. But I do remember when Mark Kermode said, as long as you laugh about 6 times in a film, it will class as a comedy, and um, it does have about at least 6 laughs, so fair enough, it's a comedy. But I would say more, an action thriller. So I'm gonna score it 7.5. I guess I understand it was groundbreaking. It was where Eddie Murphy made his breakout into the movie world. I saw him a lot later in the 80s, into the 90s. He was a big star, but before this film, he was on Saturday Night Live. His early days were in comedy in the late 70s, early 80s, and this is where he made it into the movies. So, things like Trading Places, 1983. So this is where he got recognised. Um, and it's quite interesting seeing that first film by Eddie Murphy because he was really well known in the in that era, and you don't see him so much, but I guess he was the forerunner of a lot of later comedy actors. I'm thinking of more recent buddy movies. I can't remember the names of the films. Um, I may review some of those just to see how the genre has moved on. Um, but they often, I mean, there was the second 48 Hours film in 1990, I noticed. So maybe I'll watch that at some point. So anyway, 7.5 out of 10. Um, that's my score. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. Please like if you like this film review. Um, Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. Please leave your comments if you've seen this film. If you have any different thoughts, as I'd like to learn. And thank you. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.